Readbourne, a 974-acre waterfront estate on the Chester River on Maryland's eastern shore, whose centerpiece is the elegant brick Georgian mansion built in 1731. Readbourne is many things, with working farmland, exquisite waterfront, woodlands, abundant wildlife, ponds, and streams. The property is bound on the north and eastern sides by the meandering Deepwater Island Creek, which flows into the Chester River that defines the south and western boundaries. The property includes the manor house with tennis court, pool, and skeet range. There are multiple barns with grain silos and stables, along with a guest house and tenant house. The original property was a grant to George Reed by Charles Calvert, 3rd Lord Baltimore, in 1658. 2 owners later, in 1730, Readbourne was sold to James Holliday for £500 sterling. A year later, ground was broken for the house, likely designed by George's brother Leonard, although the design is generally attributed to Charles Calvert, the 5th Lord Baltimore. The estate was home to 5 generations of Hollidays until the beginning of the 20th century. Readbourne is the oldest Georgian house in Maryland still standing, making it one of the most significant properties on the eastern seaboard. The estate is listed on the National Register of Historic Places, which memorializes the original structure. Built with a hipped roof to cap the central entrance of the facade, a semicircle transom above double doors reputedly makes Readbourne the first to have an entrance of this type in the colonies. The exterior walls were built of large pink sandstruck brick, molded on site and laid in Flemish bond with buff mortar joints of yellow river sand and oyster shell. These brick molds, including the curved ones for the coping on the top of the garden wall, were found when they raised the floor during a 1928 renovation. Even though the Georgian mansion has gone through many changes over its almost 300 years, Readbourne has remained remarkably true to itself. In 1947, the north wing was built. The wing includes a great hall, designed for entertaining amidst a superb set of painted wall panels by Claude Joseph Vernet. This room is followed by the intimate study, complete with an arched bookcase with handsome carved molding. Passing through the connecting hyphen, you are back in the original 18th century structure. The drawing room is notable for its beautiful hand-painted Chinese wallpaper of floral plants and birds with brilliant plumage. All of the rooms are at single depth, as was the architecture of the period. On the south side of the main hall is the dining room with original window seats, followed by the kitchen, which was added with the southwest wing in 1791 to include this, a set of back stairs, a butler's pantry, and pantry. The main hall is unusual as it is square and the staircase is recessed in its own stair tower. With its turned walnut balusters, handsomely ramped and molded handrail, and scrolled walnut brackets, it is a fine example of the time. The main structure to the second floor leads to 3 bedrooms and a sitting room that occupy the north wing. Each room has its own unique feel that comes alive through the details of molding, hardware, and finish. Moving above the main hall are 5 more bedrooms, 2 of which would be considered masters. The south master has the original Belection molding around the fireplace, and both have commanding views of the Chester. The Readbourne residence is remarkable in that it is warm and inviting while still playing the role of mansion, as it was one of the largest Georgian homes built in its time. The house has stood for 300 years, but more importantly, 300 years of history has seen this estate. During the War of 1812, a looking glass stood in the kitchen, pointed at the Chester to watch for British attackers. And as the Civil War drew to a close, Henry Holiday buried all of the family silver on the property, fearing reprisals by the Union Army. He hid a map on a scrap of paper in a bottle that was placed in between the ceiling joists next to the dining room chimney. As Readbourne lore goes, the map was discovered by workmen during a 1920s renovation. It is not known who found the silver, or if it was ever found. During this same renovation, some of the original paneling and stairs were moved to the Winterthur Estate in Delaware, which is now a museum boasting a Readbourne parlor. The Industrial Revolution, wars, the invention of electricity, depressions, and times of great prosperity are all part of the estate's story. Henry Beck purchased Readbourne in 1983, and over time, the property became a hunting preserve for deer, wild turkey, ducks, and geese. His descendants carry on that tradition today. The family has added the skeet range, a duck blind which the property owners have exclusive access to, and renovated the pier with deep water slips. Readbourne is a truly unique offering. The pure beauty of the property and home, the profound natural setting, its sheer size and diversity. The possibilities are endless.